Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Mobile Weekly of 2020, and the first one in my new studio, which is nowhere near ready. There's a reason I'm hiding this area from you completely, hopefully the audio is coming in clear, please. Let me know in the comment section down below if the audio is coming clear. It had some technical issue as always, and there's a bad echo here. Stuff that I'm realizing I definitely need to fix, but again, I just did not want to push off Mobile Weekly any later than we already have, especially with all of the leaks on the latest Samsung device. So without further ado, I heard one person say clear already, so hopefully we are clear. Please let me know in the comment section if we're not, and I will see what I can do. Alright, now let's get to the news. So the big news that did come out while I was gone at CES is definitely by far that the S11 is no longer the S11. We pretty much have confirmation now that it is the S20, S20 Plus, and S20 Ultra. Yes, these are the new names for the latest Samsung flagships. And pricing is still a little bit off, so we'll see how it goes overall. But some are saying that it will be $699, some will say $799, it will be the starting price. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that it is smart for Samsung to do this because they're essentially doing what Apple did. And that is, instead of doing a light version, or an XR rather, they're just naming it. No, yeah, this entry level is just going to be called the S20. So that is what they're doing. I think it's a very smart play. Let's go ahead and check it out. And I apologize for this transition. This will change next week once I have time. All right. So let's get to it. And yes, as you see above me, it's still 116. So let's get to it, guys. Overall, Ice Universe has been a big leaker overall with a lot of Samsung products. However, this week Max definitely overdid everything. So let's get into it. XDA developers Max, he definitely blew the lid open on all of Samsung's products, which is interesting because they haven't gotten them yet. Even Samsung employees, most of them in the US have not gotten them. They get them at the end of this month, or at the end of this month. So it's kind of curious to see how he got his hands on one, but without further ado, let's get into it. So Ice Universe did say that there will be, again, S20, S20 Plus, and S20U. In terms of the megapixels, the 20 and 20 Plus will have the standard 12. Now, the S20U will have a 108 megapixel camera, but you have to understand this is with pixel bending. It's like such as devices as the Red Magic 3, OnePlus devices, all these ones that say 48 megapixels, that's actually just with pixel bending. The regular pixels on those are 12 when you shoot just regular photos, and you can upscale it to a higher megapixel, but it doesn't always look the best when you do that. So this one, I believe, I forget what it is, but I've heard rumors that it's going to be around the 20s for the standard megapixel when you're not pixel bending up to the 108. So just to kind of clarify that. And then you're going to have a super zoom sensor for all of these, and we can confirm that the U at least will have a 10 times optical zoom. That is the middle camera, so the middle camera is 64/64 for the lower ones, and 48, but the 48 is a bigger sensor, plus with the bigger optical zoom, so it's going to be better overall. Alright, so let's get into it. So again, Max really kind of blew the lid off of it. So first, here are the leaks of the actual S20 itself, and this is the S20 Plus 5G variant, so not bad at all. And yeah, everything we kind of have heard about or seen is definitely what it looks like it will be. So that is exactly what we kind of see. Of course, no photos allowed, not for resale, confidential, do not leak info. And I love that he took a picture of that sticker, quite frankly. But yeah, everything else seems kind of like what we expect. The front of the phone is pretty much the same. Like, there's no real changes to it. You can see you still have the edge screen right here, that little pop-up portion of it. But yeah, nothing unusual or different really in terms of the look in the front, which is okay, I guess. You know, we're not having that that fadeaway front camera yet, which I was very excited for. But you know, if we get a 10 times optical zoom, I'm kind of happy, along with a bigger battery, which it looks like we are getting that. Oh, so then we also had the rear more photos of the rear of it. And yeah, if you haven't followed him, definitely check out everything he's been posting. I'll look at that later. But okay, then he posted this one today, actually. So it does keep the SD card slot up to 1 terabyte of storage. The will be available in 128, 256, and 512. You also have, again, 12 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of RAM. So it looks like, at least for the Ultra variant, it's only going to be 12 megapixels for the lowest variant, which is insane. I mean, you don't need 16. Even I don't need 16. Probably. So very happy about that. You also have a 5,000 milliamp battery. That's what I'm talking about. Definitely want to see how thick this phone is going to be because of it. Is it going to have graphene? That we don't have confirmation yet, but definitely one thing you'd want. With the 45-watt charger, which again looks like it will not come in the box. The 25-watt charger will come in the box. With the 45-watt charger, you're going to get from 0 to 100% in 74 minutes. That is really fast. We'll see how it goes again for the overall. 48 megapixel optical again, and 12 megapixel ultra wide. I'm really curious on the aperture for these though, because that's going to make a big difference with these sensors. That's what I want to find out. But he has released a lot of information on this overall. So about the 620 and 620 Plus, it looks like they will be having smaller cameras. Basically, the front camera is going to be the same as the S10 and Note 10, so kind of a little bit disappointed in that. But it will record at 60 frames per second now at the front camera, which is very important for it to do. I'm very happy about that we're finally going to get front-facing 4K at 60 frames per second on an Android device. Except for my Red Magic 3, or sorry, not my Red Magic 3, my dual screen, what is it called? Nubia 20. That is the only one you can currently film 4K at 60 frames per second with the front camera on Android, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so we have that, and then we have a little bit into the more deep dive. So it does look like we're going to have stabilization this time around on the 4K 60. That was a big thing of why I said to everyone, film at 1080p at 60 frames per second, because that way you get the stabilization. You didn't with the actual 4K version. Now you are going to be getting that on it. So that is a really big plus, and one that I think is definitely needed. And again, it will not support HDR video with it, which is the same with HDR10. I don't think a lot of people will use HDR10 anyway, so I don't see that as a really big deal, quite frankly. You're going to have the zoom in audio just like you did on the past phone. And I'm really kind of curious to see how everything will go about in this. Overall, I've seen his videos on it. There is no direct review yet. It could be later. This is a pre-production model. It's what he said, basically. But overall, yeah, this is what we're getting, and I'm pretty excited for the aspects of what we're getting for the phone. Now, I know a lot of people are asking, I see it in the chat right now, we're going, is it going to have the 120 hertz? As of now, from what I've heard from the people that work at Samsung that I do know, it looks like yes. It looks like yes, it will get the 120 hertz, at least a variable version of that. So I don't know if it will consistently be 120 hertz or if you can force it to be 120 hertz. By the wording they told me, that's the one thing I would say I'm kind of nervous about. But other than that, I can definitely see it getting it. It's just not going to possibly be consistent as other devices like the OnePlus. and Razer have gotten before. All right, thank you for the super chat donation, Quiet Storm, Clear Audio, welcome back, good sir, thank you for that. All right, and now let's move on to the other phone that's going to be announced at Samsung's Unpacked event. No, I've not gotten my invitation yet. I did see some people at CES already got their invitation, so I do need to reach out to Samsung yet again and try to set that up so that we'll make sure we get it. All right. So what is now being called the Galaxy Z Flip was Project Bloom. Basically, this is the phone that is right here. It is a clamshell design. It's going to open up and be a cheaper version to basically cut Razer off at the legs if Razer doesn't change their price point, which again, at CES, it kind of seemed like they might. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Check out our video on that if you haven't already. But here's the thing about it. So it's going to be announced at the February 11th Unpacked event. It is going to be codenamed Galaxy Z Flip is the official name of it, which is fine. I would have just named it Galaxy Flip. I don't think there's any reason for a Z. I think Galaxy Flip works perfectly well, at least in English, but we'll have to wait and see how it kind of turns out overall. So, in terms of pricing, again, this one is supposed to be under $1,000. That's all really we kind of know about it. Overall, in terms of the specs, we have it down here. 6.7-inch 1080p display. It's expected to have a smaller battery, and again, not the latest processor. It is, again, going to be kind of like not a budget phone, because it still has Snapdragon 855. It still has good specs overall. It just won't be as high end as the S20 series, and I would say it's going to be more compatible with the S10e in terms of what it has inside. Overall, I think it's also going to have a smaller battery, it looks like, and again, slower charging, only a 15-watt charger in the box. So it's going to lose some of the things that you're getting with the newer phones, but you have that flip bendable phone. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is this more appealing to you to have a flip phone that does bend? I will say the Razer just looked absolutely amazing. I just wish it had better specs inside of it at CES. But I'm really kind of curious to see what your guys' thoughts are if the Galaxy Z does turn out this way. Will that be enticing to you at all? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, and the last thing that I really like is apparently European lawmakers are trying to force Apple to change their cable. So this is pretty interesting because I agree entirely with this, especially because Apple devices are the only thing that use Lightning. Yes, we know that, but now not even all Apple devices use it. Their computers charge through Type-C, their iPad Pros charge through Type-C, so they have less of a leg to stand on than they did before when everything was Lightning. And yeah, I just really see it. Now, Apple is, of course, trying to fight against this. They don't want to change, they say. Like Lightning is on 1 billion Apple devices, and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, that's interesting. But again, they are using Type-C themselves in other products. So it wouldn't be as much of a stretch as normal to do that. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's something that Apple should do, quite frankly. But I find it interesting because European lawmakers are the ones trying to do this. And that should be awesome. If they can get this done, Apple would have to change. Please get it done, Europe. Come on, Europe. I believe in you. BB-8. I don't have all my cups yet, so I'm getting with whatever cup I can. All right, guys, and that was all the news today. Now let's get to your questions. If you have any questions in the comments section, just feel free to ask in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. All right, now I'm going to get to your questions. Again, a very different setup. I do have this huge display in front of me, and yes, once I get everything cleaned up, I will do a studio tour video as promised before I moved. Okay, let's get to your guys' questions. SoCal Ricky. I love it. The first Mobile Weekly of the year. I'm excited to see this year is going to bring us far in tech. I will tell you, I really made a lot of connections at CES this year. It was really enjoyable. I had a lot of fun doing it, so I'm very curious to see everything that will come out of it. You know, companies talk a big game when you're there and everything, but maybe when you know, they haven't had a few drinks in them or whatever it is, they reassess and we'll see what products we get from these companies. They said a lot, but we'll have to wait and see. And definitely excited to see some of them create some good partnerships, I will say, and some different branches. So because sometimes, for instance, LG really good with their phone branch, but TV, soundbar, anything like that, never really had a connection with them. And they do have different people in each of those divisions. So that's what I'm trying to reach out to get more of, to kind of be able to review more tech for you guys so I can give you guys more informed decision. Trying to get with TCL and Hisense as well, just different companies overall to kind of test out more products on a wider landscape than we have in previous years. All right. S20 Prime, Ultra Prime. I really wonder how crazy we will get with the names and see how it is overall. Bad name choice. Where is he if it's 116? 116 is always Mobile Weekly. That's all. Will the S20 have 120 Hz refresh rate? From what I heard, yes. LOL, no pictures allowed sticker. No, I will tell you, I will not have any stickers for sure in this studio. Taking the stickers off of my old apartment, it was a huge pain to do. So yeah, that will not happen again. No stickers here. I can't afford it. I'm going to sleep. Good night. Thank you, John, for tuning in early at least. I appreciate that. Yeah, talk about the screens, 120 hertz. So yeah, it's a 5,000 milliamp battery for the Ultra. I assume the lower variants will be 4,500 and 4,200 or 300. In all honesty, so we'll see how it goes and when it comes to that. But overall, I'm still just excited to see just how everything goes when it comes to it. Not too excited about the Z Flip, Flip Z. I really, for me, it's not for me. I would say definitely I like the idea of a Galaxy Fold much better, but we'll see. There seemed to be a lot of interest with a flip phone like that. It's not for me. I think it looks great. I think it looks cool if it's like the Moto Razr, but I just don't see the benefit of it. Again, that was my thing from the beginning. New watch with the S20. Yes, there will be a new Galaxy Watch 2 coming out, so it will be the replacement for the Galaxy Watch. That will be coming out with the upcoming announcement. Hey, can you briefly talk? You briefly talked about this last time. If Huawei have trust and security issue, why are people okay with OnePlus? Isn't OnePlus Chinese as well? Please clarify or explain. Yeah, sure. So, Huawei has been linked and had some very, very shady practices compared to OnePlus's parent company, Oppo. ZTE is another one, and Xiaomi is another one. Xiaomi and Oppo have never had any issues, I would say, security-wise, that I am ever been aware of like trying to find out things about people or get their information or steal secrets. However, ZTE has been found for that, got fined, were forced to fire their entire board, if I remember correctly, and replace their basically entire executives at the company because of it. So yeah, huge thing. The U.S. almost bankrupted ZTE, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I want to say that was 2018 when that happened, and it was bad. I really thought ZTE was going to go out of business, and if it would have kept up that ban, they would have. They have invested so much in the U.S. and they make hotspots, they make phones, they make flip phones, they make all these things for the U.S. carriers. So when it had a ban, it was real big trouble for them. And Huawei has been found on several occasions, as I've talked to other YouTubers and as I've done my own research. They have been found several times trying to get trade secrets and not being shy about it, you can say. So I think that's why. It's not necessarily that they're manufactured from China, as I just stated, 4 different manufacturers: Oppo, Xiaomi, ZTE, and Huawei. It's not necessarily so much they're from China. It's that they're past aggressions into looking into people's content or looking into companies. Like, they have flat out sent people into companies to steal information, and it was blatant. And so that's more the problem, I would say, with Huawei, more than any other Chinese company. Now, did I check out Huawei's Mate X while I was at CES? Yeah, it looked amazing. Was it kind of laughable that they were trying to play video content when they were demoing it to me, and they had to basically go on Chrome to go onto YouTube to play a video because they did, or not Chrome, their internet browser, because they didn't have any Google services. So it just showed you how bad the phone can be without Google services, and Huawei, quite frankly, needs Google services, in my opinion, in order to survive. So yeah. Yeah, not really answering that. Obviously, always appropriate questions. So yeah. Let's see. Apple will go no cable before they go Type-C. I don't think so. I think they're going to go Type-C. I just don't think Apple will do that. I know I said it before, but it's just not practical. But we'll see. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Apple would go Type-C or completely cableless? What do you guys think in the comment section? I mean, I would say the only way they would do that is if they make wireless chargers themselves, and you can only use that to fast charge an iPhone. That is completely possible. Oppo developed a wireless charger that I think is like 20 watts or 25 watts. Like, it was a fast wireless charger, like faster than most wired chargers. That I cannot wait to see in the US. Apple will, do you think the Fold 2 will be drastically different or minor changes? I think it'll be minor changes, quite frankly. I do hope they don't have a notch anymore. I really don't need a camera in the front of the phone. Like, or do just a teardrop, or not a teardrop, do an old hole just like you have it on every other Samsung device now. Do that. I don't need a huge notch with a camera. It's not necessary. So hopefully, I think that'll be probably the biggest difference that I could see happening. I think it will be in the corner this time because you don't want it to be in the middle, because that's where it bends. So I don't think you'll see that. But I would really be interested in the Galaxy Fold 2, I must admit. I saw some people with it at CES, and I was a little I wish I had it. Any news or rumors about the next Samsung watch? No, I do know that it will be announced at the event, but that's about it. Did you see anyone famous at CES? I saw Shaq. That was probably the most famous, like, celebrity-wise that I saw. I heard Guy Fieri was there. I know there was a famous person that was there that was like everyone was surrounding him. I didn't know who he was. He had 2 beautiful ladies around his arm. But that was about it. Like I didn't know who he was, or maybe the ladies were famous, but everyone was surrounding them, them three. So yeah, I don't know who that was, but someone famous. And yeah, I saw Shaq. I didn't. My friend Richie almost said hi to him. I told him go do it. Like I don't like to say hi to people like that. Oh, and at the event we saw Flava Flav. He was at the event. Did I post that online? I don't think. There's still so many pictures from CES that I haven't posted, and so many videos that I still need to upload. So yeah, that's my plan for this week. All right. Why did you not mention the news about Samsung Cloud being hacked? Quite frankly, I looked at most of the news about an hour before I did this video, and then I had a lot of audio issues, so I stopped looking at videos. Please let me know about the Samsung Cloud being hacked. I would never trust Samsung's Cloud, to be quite honest. I'm all about Google's Cloud when it comes to cloud storage. I think it's the most secure by far. So that's the personally one I would recommend if you do cloud storage. All I can say, if Samsung's Cloud got hacked, I'm happy I don't really store anything in there. They should have named it Galaxy Flip. Z sounds corny. I agree. I think it should have just been called the Galaxy Flip. I think it's a far better name. Do you know the new Flex laptop will be released in the US? I do not know about that. I really wasn't too interested in the laptop except for the Chromebook. I don't think Samsung's laptops are where they quite frankly need to be to persuade me away from Dell. I still think Dell, honestly, the XPS series is the best series you can buy in laptops, quite frankly, for most average users. I just think it's a better quality device. Let's see. Okay, what's this crap rumor about the Galaxy Fold 2 being a clamshell style? So that is the confusing part that you're seeing a lot on YouTube and all over the space. The Galaxy Fold 2 is not the Galaxy Flip. So there's a Galaxy Flip coming out, the Z Flip. There's Galaxy Flip coming out. That's coming out with the S series. The Galaxy Fold will come out with the Note series. And yes, there still will be a Note series. That is not changing. Although it was rumored last year. Hey Ricky, how's it going? How's the weather out there? Good. Good weather. I'm loving the weather so much more in Long Beach compared to the Valley. For those of you who know, the Valley was where a lot of fires happened. All best wishes go to the people in Australia, by the way. Whole nother level when it comes to that. But yeah, we had fires a lot. We literally had to evacuate our house probably, I think 3 times or 4 times, I think total, while we lived in the Valley. So Long Beach has so much better weather. Definitely happy to be here. How was your weekend? Busy. I arrived and hit the ground running. Have to unfortunately some things happened, so have to give my wife a new car. So have to find that out, and I like to do my car shopping very slow and methodically. How I recommend doing car shopping, by the way, is you pick 3 cars you're interested in, and then you from those 3 cars you test drive all 3 of them. Once you test drive all 3 of them, you narrow it down to which one you want to get. You pick that one. Once you pick that one, this is what you do from there. You study it over time. So Edmunds is the main website I would say I use. Carfax is another good one. But you just kind of want to see what is the best price in a 100-mile radius from me to get this car. And sometimes it is further out. Like sometimes I've driven, I think I drove for my car when I got it. I think I drove at least 60 to 70 miles out. So it was far. But it was 4,000 cheaper than anywhere else with great mileage. So that's what you kind of look for. You compare, and then you can kind of put them against each other. So all of these websites have internet salespeople that are basically taking over it. So you basically say, well, this site has that car for, 5,000 less, or this site has the same price as you, but the mileage is like, 20,000 less miles. What can you do? What's your best price? You pit them against each other, so once they're against each other, then it gives you the best price, and that way all the negotiating is done before you get there. Another thing I recommend doing is actually going and getting it at a credit union or something like that that'll give you a way better interest rate. 6% is what most of the ones in California are for the car dealerships. Most credit unions are like at 3% around that, so it's really half the price. And basically, the credit union will work with the car dealership so that it's basically all that you're doing is giving them a check when you get there, and that's it. So that's a little tidbit for how I recommend buying a car. When I only have a week to do it, I can't do all of that. So I'm strategizing right now, seeing what I can do. But so that I have to do. Very busy when it comes to that. Catching up on work, obviously. I'm a district manager, so you can only imagine how much paperwork and emails you have to catch up on after you miss a week at CES. And behind on videos. So let's just say I have a couple of things to catch up on, but I'm really happy to be back in front of the camera talking to you guys. All right. And that was Car Talk with Ricky. Let's see. Remember the Titans? Man, wait. Someone quote Remember the Titans? Man, screw it. I'm all Tennessee. Oh, are you talking about Remember the Titans as in the game? The game this past week. All I gotta say is, I don't care if y'all talk mess, because I'll admit, I'm just happy. But I'm just happy. 49ers, after years and years and years in football, they really stepped it up this year and are back. It looks like we got to get rid of the Packers, and that's about it. I'm just happy about that. I just love a good game, and yeah, happy about that. And yeah, y'all can talk shit about whatever. Okay, look, I was quiet for years because my 49ers sucked for a long time, so I never mentioned football. But yeah, there you go. All right. Glad you're back. Loved your videos all week. Great job. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get to put out more. I really, it was so tiring CES this year. I think it was just kind of like the lack of sleep I had gotten from newborn at home and moving and all that kind of stuff, and just right into CES. I definitely hope to get more sleep next year. We'll see. I wonder how much in profits do Apple make from the cables? Millions and millions. Not billions, but millions. They make millions from it. No cable for Apple. Cableless seems like something they would do. I would say that. LOL, Flava Flav. What? Didn't know he liked tech. He was testing out some Monster headphones. Actually, what was kind of interesting was, so all these influencers were there. So there was YouTubers, there was Instagrammers, there was all these different people there. And I will say this, there was some scantily clad, very, very beautiful women there. And we all didn't know if they were escorts or if they were, some people thought they were porn stars. So I still maintain I thought they were escorts, but it was just funny. Like that was the topic of discussion from some of the influencers there. Like, we had done our rounds to see the companies and check out all that they had to offer, and there was literally about, I want to say, 6 girls there, and one like huge swole guy there with them. And so yeah, we were just like, that's what the influencers were talking about at that party. We were just like, you think they're like this, or do they look like that? I thought it was just hilarious. That's what happens sometimes in the parties in Vegas. No one throws a better party at CES than LifeX, though. LifeX throws the best parties at CES. Still maintain that. You can check out our photos, and we will have some video content coming up from them soon. Let's see. Let's see. Your take on OnePlus concept phone with disappearing camera? I will say that I really don't care about the disappearing camera, to be quite honest. This is what really interested me more about the OnePlus concept device. One, the fact that it had diffusers built in, ND filters built in, that is so cool. What ND filters do is they basically make it so that if you have a really bright, say like this light right here that's lighting me up right now, if this was in a photo, it would blow out the entire shot. But with an ND filter, you can actually neutralize the light so that it looks absolutely amazing. A lot of YouTubers do this actually when filming a screen, because the screens are so bright that it doesn't look always as good. So if you throw an ND filter on the lens, then you actually get a better look to your camera. So yeah, that is a really cool feature, I would say. And the second thing was, I want that phone just because it has a leather back. I have been wanting a leather back on a smartphone again for a long time. I still miss the Note 4 leather back. It was so good. I don't care if it was pleather. It felt good. And LG, I think G4 had the last like true leather back, actual leather back. But yeah, really cool when it comes to it. I really thought it was so cool in terms of the look of it. But yeah, that was one thing that I wish I had with what was it, Huawei, their Mate 30, when it had that leather green back. I was like, oh, Huawei, you're trying to make me buy this phone that doesn't have Google services on there, so it won't work. But if it had Google services, I would have imported that phone entirely. I like it immediately. I would have done it. Any news on the Pixel 4a? Yes, there was leaks on it, actually, on how it looked. I did not get to it, the article to present. Again, sorry. I really put these articles together, and I knew this was what I needed to talk about mostly. So there will be more news on it. We'll see how it goes when it comes to it, but yes. Will Samsung have a trade-in for the S20? Yes, they will. They have really loved how the trade-ins have done for them, so they will keep doing them. I'm glad you're away from all the fires, so am I. Enlightenment. Now I know a little bit about the latest phones and devices. Thank you. I'm glad you do. I'm not sure if the screen is bigger, but so far, no. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded has happened. Let's see. 3D printers. I don't know if I would ever get a 3D printer. I just don't know what I would do with it. I wanted one before I got married because there was a lot of cool things I could do with it. But besides that, I just never thought about it. Car Talk with Ricky, sponsored by 51st Date Questions, cough cough. Thank you so much, Quiet Storm, for reminding me. Do I have that here? Yes, I think I do, although I have to move it over there. Oh. Let's see, move that here. So, 51st Date Questions is an app that I made. It is a great app for anyone that goes on a date, or if you know anyone that is dating right now, it would be great. It's also great even for couples. If you've been together for a long time, you'd be surprised by some of the answers you'll get, and sometimes people just change. So the answers you originally get aren't the ones that they get anymore. Although I did create this app recently, I had a physical version, and that was one of the things I used on our very first date with me and my wife, that she definitely loved, and it's definitely something that I would say is a great icebreaker and definitely can make dreams happen. That is 51st Date Questions, available on iOS and Android. It links it in the description. All right. Thank you for that, Quiet Storm, for reminding me. On the next episode of Check Out the House. Yes, Check Out the House is really coming along. I will say I'm excited for some of the brands we connected with for Check Out the House. I definitely think we can make some really cool things happen with it. Samsung has responded to the claim of the hack. Neither Galaxy phone nor cloud was hacked. The user information was revealed through an external leak. So, continue. Leak. As long as the ID and password remain undisclosed, personal information in Samsung Cloud is protected according to privacy policy, Korean celebs. Interesting. Okay. So, I mean, look, all for it to be... if there's anyone that I trust in my storage just because of how encrypted it is Google. Like, I trust them so much more than anyone else when it comes to security. To cable or not to cable? That is the question. Great way to put it, Paul. Great way to put it. Oh yeah, I forgot CES was in Vegas. Yes, it was. Did you get to see Samsung A51 at CES? You know, I didn't. I will say I did not see it there. I did see the lights, and those were the main ones. I know the 71 and the 51 were there, but we had like an appointment with LG in the same building. So literally, as soon as we were done with Samsung, we had to go to LG, and we went there, and then we had to meet with Canon, and then we had to meet with Hisense, and all these different ones. So great partnerships, but did not get probably as much content as I would have liked. Although I will say I got a lot. There's still, again, probably 2 weeks worth of content that I still have that I have to put out. Samsung Cloud also has your fingerprint access. I can tell you Samsung fingerprint is embedded on a chip inside the device. It doesn't leave the device. It is encrypted on the device, so I do know a little bit about that part of it. So I know that the cloud wouldn't have that information. Did you see the pic I sent on Twitter? A bit of history on Mobile Weekly. I saw you direct message me. I did not get to open it before this. Alright. Any other questions? Let me know in the comment section down below, or we will call it a show. Been going about almost 50 minutes now. Again, sorry for being late and sorry for the delay on the show. This is not the final setup, by the way. This is not the final setup. I am purposely blurring it out more so that I can... there's still boxes over there. There's clothes over on that chair that's blurred out. So this is not the final setup. Hopefully, I will have the final setup by next week. There's a couch over here. There's all this kind of stuff. There's a table hiding behind there. All these things that you have not seen yet. But there will be. It will be coming. So yeah, lots of fun stuff for sure. Did you run into I'm guessing you mean iJustine at CES? No, I did see her last year. I did not see her this year. She's usually there with her sister and usually at least one or two other camera people. But yeah, no, did not see her this year. She seems really cool. I know she's trying to push this thing right now with the university and stuff like that. I think it's kind of interesting. I haven't seen how much the tickets cost, but I've heard people are kind of like, these tickets are a lot of money. So I was going to check it out because I was curious to see how much the price was for it. But yeah, I don't know. I think if they're too much, I don't even go to VidCon or anything like that just because I don't see as much purpose in it. But we'll have to wait and see. I think just tech YouTubers are a little bit on their own, but I do want to change that. I have this really cool idea for a collab with other tech YouTubers, but we would have to be able to work together, and I think it would be really cool. But I don't know if there's enough around where I live to be able to do it. Speaking house, did you get the fridge situated? I don't know what I told you guys about. Like, none of the appliances that so when we moved in that weekend, we were supposed to get appliances I ordered from Samsung. It was supposed to get a washer, dryer, and fridge. None of them showed up. They said it was pushed back to January 15th. Keep in mind, this was like December 22nd, so it was like a full month. I was so annoyed with Samsung. They kept telling me like, "Oh, well, we sold double the appliances, yada yada yada," all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, sure. But so that's January 15th. So it should be here hopefully in 2 days. What I had to do in the meantime was I had to buy a fridge, like a little like dorm fridge, and so that's what I've had since. And luckily, I'm close by my family, so I've been going over their house to do laundry. So that's been my life until finally get the appliances, and just still need to get more. Boxes is my life right now. Boxes is definitely my life. A lot of things to build still, a lot of things to get to, cars to buy. Good times, good times. What is your favorite tech YouTuber apart from you? Mr. Mobile. Mr. Mobile is easily my favorite tech YouTuber. I would say he is the one I like the most, the one I love his content. I could watch his content all the time. If there's one person I wish lived in LA that I can collab with, is Mr. Mobile. Not that he would collab with me or anything like that, but it's just like, God, like, I love his content so much, and I will never forget, obviously, I don't think we do look alike at all, but back when I first started, I was called the bootleg Mr. Mobile because of how I looked, and or apparently or whatever, like, or people saw a thumbnail and thought I was him, and they were like, "Oh, I thought you were Michael Fisher," So I found, that's how I was introduced to him, by the way, a bootleg version of him. But yeah, no, he is by far my favorite one. Did you recently buy a new house? Yeah, I did. This is my house. I was living in an apartment, a townhome style apartment, but I was living in an apartment before. I now have my very first house. Back there. I could actually touch it. What do you think so far of the new PlayStation? Will it come out at the end of this year? Yes, if I'm not mistaken, they've said it's going to come out the holidays of this year. I think they even reiterated that at CES when they announced the logo and the name. It will be coming out this year. What do I think about it? I think it's, again, as long as it's more powerful, as long as it has Type-C, and as long as it has those exclusives. If PlayStation 5 launches with God of War 2 and Spider-Man 2... there are no console wars. There are no console wars. And I say that blatantly and honestly, to be quite honest. Like if they announce that those two are coming out with it, there are no console wars. Xbox has already stated they don't have, any exclusives anymore. They are going to have... So, I have a legit better quality graphics card than the next Xbox Series will have. I can totally game on this 144 hertz display perfectly fine, and it's going to look better than the latest Xbox. Every single game that'll come out for Xbox, because they have already stated there will be no exclusives for them. I think that is the stupidest thing that Xbox could have done. I get why they did it. I get it kind of benefits people that are still going to have an Xbox One X and Xbox One S. But from a business standpoint of moving forward, it really is going to make it so why would I buy this? Let's see. Let's see. They should have a YouTuber. Oh, sorry. Quiet Storm, thank you for the super chat donation. Appreciate it. For all the good times recently. So many good times. I should make a shirt of that. Good times, good times. It's something I've always said since I was like young. It's like every time, just going through whatever, or someone else is going through whatever, I'm just like, good times, good times. They should have the YouTubers awards. The award statue should be a golden thumbs up. They have YouTuber awards or influencer awards rather, but they are different. Like MKBHD is one in terms of tech. I think 2 years. So they do have those. But I forget what they're called. They're like different ones, I believe. There's no like YouTube doesn't have their own, which would be kind of interesting for them to have their own. But yeah. How you like the PS5 logo? What about GTA 6? GTA 6 would be big, but it wouldn't be an exclusive. I don't think PlayStation could swing that. If PlayStation could swing GTA having an 6 having an exclusive, that would be big. Yeah. When is your green screen coming back? It's not. It's against the wall over there. You can't see it, but it is against the wall over there. I do not plan on having a green screen anymore unless it's like for specific videos. Maybe for movie reviews I could see that. Like it can have like, you know, be in the movie kind of thing, like where the background is green screen. But I don't plan on using the green screen anytime soon at least. I plan on perfecting this look. This is obviously how it looks like at night too. During the day it'll look much different as I have a great window here for light source. So lots of differences coming for sure. Dave 2D is kind of cool, although it's kind of interesting. You like Dave 2D, but Mr. Molino, where I feel Dave 2D is kind of condescending sometimes too. He's he seems very chill when he's in other people's videos, but I will say like very definitive. I don't know, like very confident, and obviously it's always good to be a YouTuber or influencer in general to be confident. But very definitive, and I always think that's kind of interesting way to go about it. And I guess I'm definitive too sometimes, so I can't really say much. Like, I am definitive sometimes because I hate YouTubers that do a cop-out. It's up to you, really. Like, you know, whichever one you like better is made for you kind of thing like that. And, you know, I'm just like, this phone is better. I love doing that because it's like, you're watching this for that reason. Now, you can give me thumbs down for it, you can give me thumbs up for it, but, like, that's what I believe. I like, this device is better. That's what I'm always a fan of. But, yeah, I would say Linus and Dave are definitely the two I look for all my laptops, for sure. Like, those are the two ones that I look for all laptop content. But, yeah, I love Mr. Mobile in terms of just how he does his videos. It's like... And he is the only YouTuber that does 60 frames per second besides me that I can think of too. All other YouTubers, like, I was going to do a video on that, and let me know if you guys think I should. I was going to do a jokingly video, kind of saying what tech YouTubers need to stop talking about. And it was going to be about, it was an idea I had for when the Pixel came out. And I really thought it was so crazy for what it was. So all tech YouTubers were consistently talking about the Pixel not having 4K 60 frames per second, not having 4K at 60 frames per second, not having 4K at 60 frames per second. Literally every single YouTuber that reviewed that phone said that basically. Except me. I would say I really did. I mean, I said I was happy that it had 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is what this is being filmed at right now, which is what you watch all my content on. All my content is 1080p at 60 frames per second. But here was the problem that I had with it, and I was gonna say it a jokingly video. I was gonna amp it up, right? So like I always like I criticize myself, I criticize others, all this that kind of stuff. But I was gonna do a very like WWE, like a promo. So letting people know this is an over-exaggerated version of what I think. I do not actually think these YouTubers don't know what they're talking about or whatever. But I was going to create like a character basically kind of basically saying like all these other YouTubers are talking about this phone not having 4K at 60 frames per second. Yet, when going to MKBHDs, when going to iJustine's, when going to Lou's, when going to John, when going to I think Dave too, all of these. I looked up probably like 25 YouTubers. not one of them, except for Mr. Mobile, filmed at 60 frames per second. So my complaint was, who the hell cares if the Pixel doesn't have 4K at 60 frames per second? None of you film at that frame rate. All of you film at 30. One odd one I think did film at 24, which I like better too. But 30 is not the correct resolution in my opinion. It's dated. It doesn't look as good as 60 or 24. But I thought it was funny. I was like, so all these YouTubers are talking about how, like, I can't believe it doesn't film at 4K 60 frames per second. Yet none of them do. None of them do. So I was gonna do like a talking mess video, and I was gonna be like basically like, and if you have a problem with me saying that, then find me at CES. Didn't end up doing it, but I thought it was that was my idea that I had. Let me know if you'd want to see a video like that. And again, a playful video, not like I wouldn't be seriously like, these people are obviously more talented than me because they have a way more viewers than me, way more subscribers, all that stuff. What do you think about TCL products, especially the phones? I think the new phones are very interesting because, see, they've had the low-tier version of Alcatel for a while now, but TCL is a higher quality, so I'm really kind of curious to see how they're going to turn out, especially with if they're going to start mirroring to their phone to the TV. So all Android phones can do cast, right? So you can cast, do it that way through Google Home, but you can't do it on every device. And if they had what Samsung has, mirroring a smartphone to a TV through Wi-Fi Direct, that is so ideal. So if TCL can come up with that, a mirror cast kind of thing, I think that would be awesome, and that is what I'm hoping for their device. Let's see. Best phone of 2019, the Note. The Note 10 Plus. New Year resolution ambition. Definitely want to lose weight this year. This year it's more personal because I had my son, and my daughter, so it's just like that. I really want to get more serious about that this year. Galaxy 20 S Pen, no S Pen, no S Pen. Note will be coming out later this year. I know what you mean by Dave. I think you mean righteous. Dave is righteous. Ricky is probably more sleep. Ricky's probably get more sleep. Yes, get more sleep would be a great resolution. One that I will not do because I want to work harder this year, for sure. My New Year's resolution is and always will be 1080p 4K HD. Oh, my resolution will be 1080p 4K HD. That's hilarious. You will keep the dorm room fridge in your office, LOL. Or check in Car Gurus. Great prices for used cars. I will check Car Gurus. Especially again because I have to do it in a week, so that's really, I don't like only looking that short of a time. Definitely. All right. It is you're saying YouTube isn't really talent, but it is in terms of, like, it's about exposure, it's about being captivating, but that's the whole thing. That is a talent, to be captivating, to get people's attention for that kind of period of time, and get people to like you, really. I mean, it's your likability. That is a lot to do with it. Hey, Ricky, yeah, I already answered that. When is Rigsby coming out? Rigsby's not ready for the world isn't ready for Rigsby yet. Just we're not there yet. We don't have 8K 360 Hz TVs yet. Therefore, Rigsby doesn't have a screen to go on. By the way, that actually is a possible resolution and refresh rate. Not now, but it will be. How long to DisplayPort 5? I don't know that one actually. I'm really hoping USB 4.0 will begin to be mainstream by the end of this year. WWE needs a new writer. They can hire me if I can work from Los Angeles. So thoughts on the 5900 XTX? I don't know as much about the graphics card that AMD announced. YouTube is the best thing ever invented. It definitely has created exposure like nothing else ever has. Let's see. Rigsby released in February 31st. Yes, in February 31st, Rigsby will be released. For sure. I'm not sure it's 16K. Graphene battery with the S20, that I still do not know. I'm trying to get that information. Should have it by the end of the month. Alright guys, I think that will be the show. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to give us a like, thumbs up before you do head out. It really helps out the channel when you do. And now, here is the old background with a freshly haircut Ricky. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.